Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hi guys, Coach Charlotte here with Time and Compass. Today we are talking all about breakfast. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite breakfast food is. I would love to hear. I know for me, I kind of am someone that changes it up a little bit. And so, good morning, Wendy. How's it going? I like to have oatmeal. I like to have eggs. I like to have a quiche. Good morning, Christina. I am going to link in the comments below one of my most favorite breakfast items that I usually make on the weekend. I love to meal prep breakfast because, let's be honest, in the morning it's kind of crazy. And if I don't have something there and ready to go, it can just be very chaotic for me. And so a lot of times I'll have something already prepped that's a very basic, like an egg white quiche, or I have like egg white cups that I'll make a lot of times, just something that's like a protein. And then from there, I'll kind of add or subtract, if I feel like a carb that day, or if I'm feeling more like I need something like savory and satisfying, I'll add a fat to that. But that's kind of where I fall in the spectrum. The biggest thing for me is making sure that I have something prepped though, because if not, breakfast kind of sets the tone for the day, right? And that's one of the things I was going to talk to you about, is that studies have shown that you are more likely to stay on plan and on track if you eat a good hearty breakfast. So Wendy says that she loves oatmeal. Ooh, with goji berries. Goji berries are so awesome. I have to say, they are amazing. They are a great alternative to raisins and have so much more nutritional dense value. I agree with that. Ooh, and a banana. Yum. Overnight oats. Yes, those are really good too. I know overnight oats I will use a lot of times for mid-afternoon snacks too. And then the oatmeal cookie bowl. I don't know if you've had that one before, but that's a great FP that you can kind of add and subtract with too, that goes overnight as well. You can do cold or hot, but those are great options too. Yeah, yum. So with that, when we talk about breakfast, what we're talking about is breaking the fast, okay? And so it was so funny when I actually realized that break fast is what that actually was talking about, is breaking your fast in the word breakfast. I don't know if any of you guys, good morning, Angel. If any of you guys have ever realized that, but I know I was feeling very silly when I just realized that a few years ago. So breakfast is breaking your fast. That's why we have breakfast. And so why is it important to break our fast? Okay. So breaking our fast allows us to start engaging our metabolism again. Okay. And so after a long night rest of where our body is hopefully getting good restorative sleep, the best thing that we can do is to have a nice, wholesome breakfast that breaks our fast and starts a metabolism, okay? And so what I want you to think about is your metabolism kind of like a fire, okay? And so all night long, you might have coals or embers slowly burning, okay? This is your metabolism working just while you're asleep. But when you get up in the morning, we want to ignite that. We want to start that. We want to rev it up. And the best way to do that is through breakfast. So I know I have a lot of people say when they wake up in the morning, they're just not hungry. But Charlotte, I'm just not hungry when I wake up. And I will say, if you are not hungry when you wake up, there's one of two things happening, okay? Sometimes people just take a little bit to wake up and actually want food, okay? And so that might be 20, 30 minutes. If that's you, then that's completely fine. But you want to wake up and eat, I would say within the first hour of you actually getting up, okay? That's imperative to fuel your body, for your body to know that it's going to get fed. If you are still not hungry after an hour, I will tell you that more than likely it's because we overate the night before. So if we overeat, then our body doesn't wake up wanting fuel because it is still trying to break down the fuel that you gave it from the night before, okay? And so with that, we want to remember that dinner should be our lightest meal of the day. I know it's quite the opposite, and this is the time when we get to come together as a family usually. It's usually our biggest meal, but unfortunately after dinner is usually when we have the least amount of activity, okay? And so we have the propensity to have those foods that are in excess stored as fat if we don't fuel properly within the right proportions. And so we kind of talked about proportions a little bit last week, but I will tell you with breakfast, it is important for it to be of good proportion too. But if you had a meal that had to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more robust, it could be breakfast. Okay. So breakfast, you're going to have the rest of the day to burn it off. And so you're going to have a little bit more grace, a little bit more freedom. Okay. So when we talk about, metabolism, we talk about breaking your fast, we talk about breakfast. Breakfast should be of a good proportion that you should be hungry in 3 to 4 hours post breakfast. If you're not, then your breakfast was too large. Okay. So we want to keep that metabolism constantly going and constantly burning. Okay. So the best way to do this is small, frequent meals. Okay. Hinging all those meals with protein primarily, but then either adding a carb or a fat if you're doing the fuel cycle model that I follow. So the other thing that I wanted to say is that we need to listen to our cravings when we talk about breakfast. And so I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but what do you do when, you feel like, wow, I really, really need oatmeal? Or you wake up and you're like, man, eggs sound amazing. Okay. There's a reason why our body craves these things, and it's based off of something that it needs. Okay. And so as much as I love meal prepping, that's why I usually do meal prep just a protein. So then that way you can add or subtract accordingly based to the carbs or based off of the added fat. Okay. And so that's what I would have to say, is to be as versatile as possible to listen to those cravings. If we already have something set and in plan, or if we already know, hey, I usually do eggs and bacon every morning, I would encourage you to see where your fruit or where your vegetable lies in breakfast as well. And so it's very easy to overdo on proportions if we don't have fruits or vegetables. Okay. And so options with that would be having a sauteed veggie with, your eggs. Okay. Or you can easily put, have you guys ever had a zucchini in your oatmeal? It's one of my faves. I also like egg whites in my oatmeal as well. And so I know a lot of people look at me when I say that and they're like, oh, I don't know about that. But actually you don't taste the texture of the eggs. They don't curdle. It's not like having like egg white pieces in your egg, I promise, in your oatmeal. What you end up doing is, so when your oatmeal is hot and almost ready, you pour in, I would say maybe about 1/3 of a cup of oatmeal if you're doing a 1/3 of a cup of egg whites if you're doing 1/2 cup of oatmeal, and you just want to like constantly stir that in to incorporate it. And what ends up happening is it has this wonderful like custardy, like silky texture almost, and it becomes very, very fulfilling. So I don't know about you, but I have to kind of limit my carb meals. I usually do a lot of pulled back ease because having too much carbs too quickly, especially early in the morning, makes me very sleepy, and that's not good on the productive level. And so hinging that with protein, more than just a little bit of collagen in my protein in my coffee, allows me to be able to kind of have more balance with that. And so I will say, if you have not tried egg whites in your oatmeal, do it. It's amazing. Don't give me that face until you try it, because I know once you do, you'll be like, wow, I don't even taste the eggs in here. This is amazing. I actually give it to my kids and my husband too. And so if that says anything to you guys, know that it is something that even the pickiest eaters can and will eat usually. I haven't had anybody tell me that they don't like it when they've tried it. Other clients have been like, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. So yes, Wendy, you'll have to let me know if you like it when you try it. So adding fruit to your oatmeal is another easy way to do that, or adding fruit on the side of your quiche or your egg cups. Again, I will link that below as well. But the big thing to remember is that breakfast does start the tone for the day. Okay, so start your tone off right with breakfast. Make sure that it's a nice balanced meal with protein, and that it's of good proportion. So if you missed the proportion guide last week, go back and watch that. That's going to tell you how big proportions should be in regards to protein, fats, carbs, all of those different types of things, and then using proper sized plates and utensils to help you with that as well. Add in at least half the plate of fruit or vegetables. That will help balance out your meal and start your day off in the great way. Any questions about breakfast? Any questions about things that you guys hear or things that you guys see and you're like, I don't know, is that really right? let me know in the comments below, and I will get to those as well. But it was kind of quick and easy today for our live. I just wanted to get on here and talk to you about having a plan and being prepared for the first meal of the day. If you guys have any breakfast suggestions, I would love to hear those. I will link actually my egg white cups. So that recipe to where you guys can see that as well. But if not, then I will say adios. I hope you have a great breakfast. Let me know what you ate today, and I will do the same. So we will see you guys next Wednesday, same bat time. Have a blessed week. Bye.